Welcome to episode 31 of the Valley Sports Talk podcast. Before we get into it, Max is joining us again for this episode. I don't know if he'll join us for future, but he's definitely joining us for today.
He's
and
back,
obviously we have
baby.
Braden.
Yeah, goat's
Feels
back.
good to
Max,
have the
how you
crew
been?
back.
Good.
Good, yeah.
Been catching up on my studies, but I feel like I'm back to talk some sports. Get into
You
my
were
Braden,
always
how
a
about
weakest
you?
link.
Get
Get in your element.
back into my element.
Oh,
Feel like Bray and I have some arguments to be made. So
I think so.
Yeah, obviously today, this weekend was a pretty crazy weekend in the NFL. 4 crazy NFL games, all were won on the last play, which I find was pretty nuts. Obviously we'll get into that. First off, what do you guys think about the overtime rules?
It's got to change.
They're frustrating. They are frustrating and confusing. I will give you that. I think personally that like the Bills should have had a chance to go and score, because that's what I feel like you keep, I don't know, because as soon as the Chiefs won the coin toss, you already knew who was gonna win. Like it was all based on that one like heads or tails. So, of course they were gonna go and score a touchdown, but the Bills didn't even get a chance to even give it a shot, and they were winning near the last 3 minutes. So, I just don't like how as soon as the touchdown is, the game's over. But if they kick, the team that receives the ball first gets a field goal, then the the other team gets possession. But if they get a touchdown or a field goal, they win. Which is that's what I don't like about those the rules in that case.
I definitely think that
it's definitely going to be fixed because
Go ahead, Bill.
So yeah, the NHL. If you look at, there's differences in overtime between regular season and playoffs. Playoffs can go forever in overtime. NBA playoffs can go forever. Overtime can go forever in playoffs. It's got to be the same in football. You can't end a game like that is, as we will discuss later in the podcast, arguably the best game in NFL history. You can't end it on arguably a coin flip, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. I saw a lot of people. It was like, if all of a sudden, if you're in the NHL and you just win the face-off, then basically you won the game. Like if you're in NHL overtime, if you win the face-off, then you score, you're done.
Yeah,
it's sort of true. It's sort of true in I guess the regular season, where if you win the face-off in 3-on-3, you have a big advantage for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think what would be interesting is if we could get the numbers on the results. So basically, if you were to get the numbers of all those times where it went into overtime and the team gets let's say they get the coin toss, right? And they get the opportunity to get the touchdown first. I'm curious to see how many times has it been that those those games have been decided off the first drive. Is it always been that if they win the coin toss, they're probably going to win? I wonder how many times it went to the flip side.
So, I didn't see a post for all time, but I saw a post on Instagram for the previous 12 playoff games that have gone to overtime. And in the previous 12 games that have gone to overtime in the NFL, the team that won the coin toss is 11-1.
Yeah, so basically you win that coin toss.
Yeah, there were so many NFL superstars that were posting on Twitter win the coin toss, win the game.
Yeah. I saw it was Saquon Barkley posted one that.
Yeah. You think that if that were the case, that the NFL would be like, okay, maybe we should stop doing this because it's such an advantage. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Well, and the rules have been that way for so long. You think that they'd sit down and actually revise the rules, make it a little bit more even or fair.
The post I saw on Instagram was the Kansas City Chiefs in 2016 or 2017 lost the same way in the playoffs to a coin flip, basically, and they
I saw that.
They sent a big argument to the league, and the league sat down, talked about it, and said, "No, we're keeping it the way it is." So, they obviously like it.
I did see fair point that Josh Allen made. He said if they were in the same situation, they'd be celebrating too. So not much they can do when.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
the Bills.
exactly.
I think if the Bills would have had the ball first too, they would have won.
Well, didn't
Too.
this happen?
But that's where it comes down to this just a coin toss though, and that's where it's kind of unfair at some points because they're two evenly matched teams where it made for a good showing.
Yeah,
and that's how that's how it ended. Was
it happened to Mahomes 2 years ago with Brady, right?
Yeah.
That's
Was
what
that
Brandon
2
said.
years ago?
that too.
Maybe that's
I'm
what
not
I
saying
was-
it's just his game, but there's also other ones too where it's just come down to that.
Exactly. It goes to happen to everyone. So yeah, I think we all are on the same page that it should probably they should get rid of it and maybe change
they
it.
should
Like
go
what the
to the,
CFL doesn't the CFL do? it
Yeah, the
differently?
CFL. That's what I was about to say. They go on. They have. You have every team gets a chance. You go in from the 30-yard line in.
Yeah, which is good. I like it. I like that rule better. It gives each team a
NFL.
chance. At least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. NFL overtime rules need to change. Second little get us talking. Was this Brady's last game ever?
I think Brady still plays one more year. Personally,
Yeah,
I think he plays one more year.
I don't want to talk too much about it because we're going to discuss it a little later on. But personally, I think if he wins the Super Bowl, it might be. But he didn't, and I think even though he's won so many, I think he wants one more. So I don't think so.
Brady doesn't really strike me as a guy that go out on a loss.
Yeah.
No.
I could see him winning next year and then just going again. Honestly.
I could see that too, not gonna lie.
I honestly could. I could see him winning again and being like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm not good. Like, I'm not good." You know what I mean? Like it's so unless his family is really like, okay, settle the fuck down. Like I was watching some ESPN talk show and they're talking about it and they're just saying that from like think about it, he's 44 years old. Yeah, that's an old NFL player, but for the majority of people, like 99% of the world, that's a really young age to retire at. Like it's not like he needs to go home to his family. Like it's not like he's missing out on all this time. If he's like as good as he is right now at 44 and could do this for a couple more years, I don't know. He's still like he looks younger than he did 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Like
but at the same time,
and from his age, like he hasn't really slowed down. Like he still throws the bombs downfield and all that. So age is not really taking a toll on him. Plus, he's also hasn't really had any major injuries over the 20 years he's played.
He's had a very good O-line his whole life.
I guess exactly. I'm a fan too. I just want Brady to keep playing because I love watching him play. Like I feel like if he wanted to, he could still be dominant for the next 3 or 4 years. So I just feel like we're missing out on good football if he doesn't. So I don't know. I hope he does.
Going back on your point there that 44 is a young age to retire, you can't really. I find it hard to really compare football to like an average job.
Yeah, sure, but to be fair, if like yes, an average like most football players, I'm not saying that Tom Brady doesn't have like a lot on his plate, but because he's a quarterback, because he's kind of got himself set in terms of like he's not going to get injured. At least we don't think he's going to get injured. He's not going to get to CTE. Like he is pretty protected, and it seems like he's doing a pretty good job of that. So I feel like if there was anyone to do it for a stupid amount of time, it would be him. I mean, 44 is already crazy. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying he's proven in the past 3 or 4 years to kind of like get us to reassess who he is again. You know what I mean? Like 4 years ago, we're like, okay, maybe this is where Brady's going to settle down. And then here we are 4 years later, and we're saying the same thing. I just don't want to like push on that because I feel like he could surprise us again and win next year and then just keep going. I don't know. But
yeah, I agree with the quarterback versus regular job because obviously Brady's always had a good O-line, so he's been protected.
Mm-hmm.
I think he said he definitely had one injury. I think he tore an ACL or something like that back in 2000.
His second career season.
I'm curious. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I didn't know.
I was just gonna say he had some sort of an injury. I remembered that, but.
And
I was gonna ask you.
The way science has progressed, like you're seeing athletes play a lot longer than you did 20, 30 years ago. So I don't think it's too surprising.
No, with the
quarterback, like
you're seeing there,
what's the lineman on the Rams there? He's like
Whitworth?
40.
Whitworth? Yeah, he's 40.
Von Miller?
That's
No,
Whitworth.
that guy. Not Von Miller.
That's
sure this.
crazy.
He's
Yeah.
40,
That's more
yeah.
surprising to me than a 44-year-old quarterback is a 40-year-old.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
talking about that on
100%.
TV the last time they played.
Do you guys think? Do you guys see Rodgers retire? Like people are talking about Rodgers retiring. I don't think
I
he's
don't-
gonna.
Well, he's hinted to it. I don't
No,
think he
I
will,
know,
but he has
I know.
hinted to the possibility
He's
of it.
hinted to it the past couple years, though. I just think it's
He's-
I don't know. It's almost like he seeks attention.
That's what I was gonna say. Everyone keeps saying that is that this guy just like gets the media to talk about him probably day in day out. Like it's always about Rodgers doing this, Rodgers doing that. When in reality,
Yeah,
he's playing great football, but not winning nearly enough as he should be. His resume, I don't know. I feel like we're not gonna talk about Rodgers, but yeah, not a big fan of him lately. So
Moving in, we're gonna go into our first segment. It's literally just like kind of what we've been talking about now, just question time, but it's based off sort of stuff that have happened over this last week. The first one was this Chiefs-Bills game, one of the best games of all time.
I mean, so the way I look at it is I have only watched football for like 2 years now religiously, and I've just been thinking back to games that I've watched personally because I don't want to say a game that I haven't watched is better than a game that I have watched just because I don't really know. And the only game I was kind of comparing to was the Super Bowl 49 between the Patriots and the Seahawks. That was a very good game too. And I actually watched that game. But I think this Chiefs-Bills game has to be, if not the best, top 2-3 for sure, just because of how many points were scored in the final 2 minutes under so much
25 scored in a minute
Yep.
50.
which is ridiculous. With all that pressure and both teams obviously really wanting to move on, but having the media just say which team's better, they're going to be versing each other for the next decade. This was a big game to start off that sort of debate, and both teams lived up to it and showed that they're for real. It's just again the coin flip. So personally,
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think it's a top 3 game that I've seen. The other 2 that I considered was that Rams-Chiefs game. It was a regular season game, is where both teams put
that
up
one was crazy.
they put up like 60 points. They're just nonstop touchdowns. And then I also put the Minneapolis Miracle up there for me, just based on that last play, the Stephon
Mhm.
Diggs. And
Mhm.
then unfortunately I have to put the Patriots comeback on Atlanta.
that's what I was.
We're about to talk about
As much
that,
as
actually.
as much as that one hurts me to say as an Atlanta fan.
It's an
that one
amazing game.
It has to be up
That
there.
is
It
an
was.
incredible game. Yeah.
That really was.
Yeah, and
Well,
Not for me.
I was gonna say what I put down. I'd say is that it was the best of. This game was probably the best of us four's experience with football. I mean, Noah's been watching it the earliest out of all of us, I'd say, but yeah, it was a shootout. But I feel like for me, it was maybe a better game than the Atlanta Falcons and the Tom Brady game. But I felt like the Tom Brady game, just in terms of like the spectacle of it, it was just like off the charts. What the fuck was happening? Like the pass to Edelman, the pass to I think there was a pass to Gronk that was like last second, and then like just like I don't know, that one seemed like even more surreal than the Chiefs Bill one, if that makes sense. Like when Tom Brady was coming
Yeah,
back from 28-3 and it was actually happening, everyone was just like, wait, what the like, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, Bills Chiefs
Yeah.
was
Brady, before we get your thoughts, the one thing that really puts over the edge is the fact that Mahomes went like 55 yards in 13 seconds
Yeah.
on 2 plays. That was like Buffalo scored that touchdown to Gabe Davis, and I was watching and I'm like, okay, Bills are moving on. Like that's it.
I
And
sent a text to the group chat. I said this game's going overtime.
And
I
you're
thought
right.
with 13 seconds, I thought like there's no way that they can get in field goal range.
We're also going to talk about what else you were right about too when we were watching it.
How are you?
I'll bring that up in a sec.
Man, did you hear Stephen A had a lot to say? Of course, Stephen A had a lot to say about this, but Stephen A was saying that, I mean, everyone was saying it, that it took the Chiefs 13 seconds to get themselves a field goal. They had 3 plays in 13 seconds. Meanwhile, the fucking Cowboys couldn't get the ball set down in 14 seconds. And it was like,
Yeah.
he was saying it to Michael Irvin. Yeah,
didn't
and
even
like
think
how
of that.
everyone's just like, shut up. Yeah, no, it was funny.
So my thoughts on this. So I do agree that it's in one of the top three, and and I've only been watching football for 2 years, but I did watch the Super Bowl where Brady did come back against the Falcons, which was pretty cool, from a huge deficit after after that first half, and that's what they kind of came back and did in this one, but still lost to the Rams. But besides that, it was a very entertaining game to watch, one that I will personally remember for a long time. Now, what I say is the best game of all time, I wouldn't agree with that, but it's definitely a top three for sure.
Brandon?
Cool.
Even at
Brandon,
that.
I
give me your
started
thoughts
it
yet?
off. I kicked it off.
Yeah, Brandon started it.
Mhm.
Okay, next question. Will Allen Mahomes sort of be the Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers of this generation?
Brandon?
Oh,
Anybody want to start
you
us
want me
off?
to go again? Jeez, I'll take it. I think this is where we get some disagreements. I'm going to say no, and it's not because I don't think Mahomes have the talent. It's just because Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, I kind of took it in the way of like rivalry and stuff like that. And Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers have only played each other 3 times in their career. I kind of pictured Allen and Mahomes as sort of the next Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, who seem to play each other.
I was debating whether or not I wanted to put Rodgers or Manning down.
That's all right. No, it's a good comparison, but yeah, in rivalry perspectives, like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning seem to play each other every year in the playoffs. They played each other 17 times in their career, and like I said in the point before, I could see Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes playing each other in the playoffs for the next 10 years. So I think they're going to become a duo of their own. But I think they could be mostly compared to Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
So yeah, I was actually on the similar kind of perspective on this. I say that I was kind of like shitting on Rodgers earlier, partially because of what I said here, but I was just saying that I actually think Allen will end up better than Rodgers will, which will make this not a comparable. Like it's not a comparison. It's not a good enough comparison. I think Allen will be kind of more like Manning, where I'd say, well, would you guys put Peyton Manning over Rodgers, right? Would you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You guys,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm saying Allen. I think Mahomes has the capability to beat Brady, but I think Allen will be better than Rodgers. So the Brady Rodgers thing doesn't make sense to me, just because I think Allen will actually be better than Rodgers and will keep up in that race a lot more than Rodgers has with Brady. I feel like there's a huge gap in
That's a hot
with
take.
Rodgers and Brady. So
That's a hot take right
what
there.
that Josh Allen
That is
went.
very high.
Yeah.
The Josh Allen will be a
No,
better quarterback.
and I do have to agree with you, Max, because it actually is you do make a good point where you can. It's so hard to compare the two to what those two have built up in a legacy, but I do think that they have potential to be better. Now, to be better than Brady is something else, but it could happen. We won't know for another maybe like 15 years, but we'll see how it goes by then. So to really just answer the question, I don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard because they're so young in their careers to predict like if they're gonna be like or Tom Brady and Manning or Rodgers and Brady or whatever. Whatever, right? So you can't really think about it at this time because they're still starting out right now. And the balls are rolling, but they'll have a good rivalry. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'll give mine thoughts. Now that Brandon says it, I'd sort of more consider them to be definitely more of a or a Brady and Manning, just because they're in the same conference. Skill wise, I see them going down as being the next sort of Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers of this generation.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Moving on.
Do you guys agree with my take about Allen? I'm curious.
Pardon?
I think it's hot. I think it's possible.
Do you think Allen will be better
It's
than
definitely
Rodgers?
possible, but what you're saying is that Josh Allen will finish as a top 5 quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. We're gonna put
It's possible.
like Patrick Mahomes. We already kind of think is the best quarterback of all time, not the greatest, but kind of like the best. Like, would you guys say? Kind of like
Most
I say the best of this, the
Best
best
right
of
now.
this generation. I wouldn't say the best quarterback, the best of this generation, though.
yeah, okay, sure.
But best and greatest are different. Like greatest, I see where Max is coming from. Greatest is definitely Tom Brady, but like
Most skilled.
best is yeah, he like
Yeah,
Tom
I
Brady
would
can't.
most skilled is
like
would be
Mahomes
right.
can.
I would say that.
Mahomes
Yeah.
has everything, but Tom
Like
Brady's
Mahomes is what Aaron Rodgers is, but a winner. That's basically how I see it. It like Aaron Rodgers has all the skill in the world, he just doesn't win. Mahomes has all in the skill in the world, he just wins. Like he's he's so successful so early on in his career. I assume I feel like Mahomes is gonna be a lock for top 5 all time when he's done. As long as he's just like is Mahomes, like I feel like he's a lock for top 5 all time. Josh Allen. So far, Josh Allen looks like kind of like 1A, 1B with Mahomes. I feel like he's going to creep his way up there and make a case for one of the greatest of all time for sure. So that's just, I mean, it is early, obviously, but yeah, Josh Allen, they both are insane.
Yeah, my only worries for Josh Allen is he can be inconsistent at times, and to be one of the best of all time, you have to have a long career. And the way he runs, like I know you guys all watch, he doesn't slide. He takes hits every time he runs. So
Oh, he'll lay somebody out. It's
but
awesome.
I'm worried he gets injured once or twice. and three
He reminds me a little bit of Brett Favre though. He's kind of like built like he's a I don't
Oh,
know.
he's a
He can
truck.
take yeah.
6'4",
He's
230.
definitely pretty thick.
About the inconsistency, they beat the Chiefs in the regular season and then go and lose to the Jags, which is which is nuts because the Jags, it's going to take them a bit to get good and all that, so I can't really,
but
I can't really crap on them
Mahomes
because
is
they're
just-
rebuilding they're rebuilding, but that's where that comes in, right? Like the defense played really good that game. It was just the offense that couldn't get anything rolling. And that's where that problem comes in.
But Mahomes
If
was
you were asked the
inconsistent.
question, what NFL team could lose to anybody or beat anybody? Like personally, the Buffalo Bills are the team that pops into my head right away. Like
I could agree on that
just as easy.
at least.
I would have said the Cardinals maybe.
That's a good answer as well. To be honest,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
the Bills
probably
are definitely in that conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, I agree. Well, yeah, the Bills would always follow up their big wins with terrible losses. Made zero sense. But to be fair, the Chiefs weren't consistent this summer. Like they're pretty shit. Like honestly, like we kind of were shitting on.
They started off pretty bad.
They started off pretty bad. But anyways, what's the next? You guys want to move on to that?
Yeah, moving along.
Yeah, let's move on.
Does this playoff run make Joe Burrow a better overall quarterback than Justin Herbert?
Ooh, it's a good question.
Brayden, what do you got?
I think I would say Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Justin Herbert as of right now.
I know Noah's going to disagree with this, but that's also because he has him in fantasy. So
he has both. Of
I
them
am a Justin Herbert love. I have both of them though.
Oh, you have Burrow?
They're both my quarterbacks.
You are actually set beyond that. Holy shit!
I got Burrow in like the 10th round, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck were we doing? I didn't know a thing about football, man. When I was getting each year, I learned I didn't know a fucking thing the year before. That's kind of what I realized. The past 2 years.
Man, you and me both picked 2 quarterbacks in the first 2 rounds of the draft.
Yeah, but I looking back on it, I mean, Dak Prescott's not a bad pick, but I don't know.
Who's your other quarterback? You have Jalen Hurts.
I got Josh Allen, and I traded him away for Lamar Jackson, which actually
we told you it was a stupid trade.
It was a stupid trade, but
then you got Hurts out of it, and Hurts can be a top 5 quarterback fantasy wise.
Yeah, he actually can. He's doing the job
because he rushes so
Yeah, no, I don't mind. Jalen Hurts was just as good as Josh Allen fantasy-wise this season, so whatever, I guess. But value-wise, Allen definitely is way more than both.
He did well. He did well until I traded him to you in week 5. He was
Wait, you have
consistent. 30.
you have Jackson, right?
Not anymore.
Where's Jackson?
On Nathan's team.
No way.
Yeah, remember
Yeah.
Didn't you trade away?
that giant trade?
Yeah, I traded him. I traded quite a bit for Derrick Henry.
Like the whole.
I could possibly fuck my season next year, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
You traded half your team for Derrick Henry.
Yeah, but luckily, but I didn't give I know I gave him Lamar Jackson and shit, but I didn't give him a whole they were kind of mediocre players. Besides, maybe Odell is the only one I'm regretting because Odell is kind of doing his thing right now, so he's being Odell, and that's really starting to fucking scare me.
Wait, what do you mean?
Can you name your starting?
You traded away Odell? You traded away Odell too?
I did trade away Odell.
And he's doing well, isn't he? Yeah, I gave you Odell.
Yeah, I bit myself in the ass on that one because I traded before the playoffs started, and yeah, that was a big mistake.
You guys go on and with this question, and I'll look at the trade details.
Well, I can tell you what it was. It was Odell, Lamar Jackson, Marquise Brown, and
Marquise Brown.
there might have been who else? Fuck, there might have been one other person. I think
There was a shit ton, Raiden. There was you said a whole fucking
players for Derrick
fleet.
Henry.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But
I thought it was funny though because I remember when we were doing the trade, the only reason why you were holding off on the trade was because you didn't have some insane fucking running back, and then you literally trade your whole fucking team just to get that insane fucking running back. It's just okay, makes sense.
Yeah, because the only thing I'm lacking in right now is the quarterback position because I just have I have right now is Mac Jones and Kirk. That's all that I have. So.
But you don't.
But I have three. I have 3 good running backs. My wide receivers are still decent, and I have the top 3 tight ends.
Who are your running backs? Henry. Who's your other 2?
Etienne and Singletary.
Singletary's that'll be interesting. But yeah, Etienne, that'd be awesome if Etienne came back and was great. Brandon, you're set for next year with running backs too. Isn't Akers back?
Yeah, Akers is back.
He's great. He's playing great right now.
Oh yeah, he's doing really well right now.
I'm happy I got to see him play and before next season, and he looks really good.
Yeah, no. You know who I'm scared about? Saquon Barkley. I'm scared about.
What about McCaffrey? You should be scared for him too.
No, he'll be fine.
I
feel like. Well, you're saying that because you traded him away, but I feel like.
I'm saying that because he's let me down countless times, and not even as a fantasy player, as
a Carolina fan.
As a Carolina player, he has let me down several times because played for the first couple weeks. He's doing good.
But all I need,
he's putting shit in the end zone, and the next thing you know, oh my leg, my back.
Yeah, but all I need is 1 or 2 seasons of a healthy C-Mac, and you're shitting your pants.
I know you have really good running backs, but that just depends. They'll all stay healthy for one season.
But if he stays healthy for next season, you're gonna be so pissed. You're gonna be.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I won't be pissed because I traded away my boy plus my first overall pick. So I would be a little pissed, Max.
At the same time,
I would almost be offended. I would almost be offended.
You'd be a happy little
What are you
boy.
saying, Brandon?
I said, yeah, he might be a little pissed, but at the same time, he's a Carolina fan, so if CMC played a full year, he'd be a happy little boy.
Yeah, but he'd be so the whole time. I'd just be shitting on you about the fact that you gave me C-Mac. I would definitely.
I think telling me, Max, you love me.
No, I won't. Pardon?
Hey, CMC played great this week.
So.
What are you saying, Brandon?
I said the only thing that'll piss Braden off is receiving text from you. Hey, CMC played great this week.
Yeah, awesome. And once he figures out that, I'm curious to see if Nathan does well with the team that you gave him.
That's the thing. Well, when I stopped and saw him yesterday, he kind of almost praised me because I'm like, you know what? I gave you a whole lot. Don't get me wrong, but my whole plan backfired because Jason wouldn't trade with me. So my whole plan backfired.
Don't make trades with Jason. He just.
I can't make trades with Jason. Nobody trades with Jason except for you.
Will's the only one that can
Brandon.
trade him.
Brandon's the only one that can trade with him.
It's just because Jason actually likes you. I don't feel like Jason's just like, don't talk to you, Max. Fuck off. It's like, so I can't get into that. But
whatever. You know what? Fantasy's fantasy, and at the end of the day, it's all fun and games until somebody ends up at Burger King. So,
Brandon,
if I do end up at Burger King next year, that's my own fault, and I'll accept the punishes.
Well, you won with also trading back another trade, so like it was pretty. If it was as fair as it could be, it was. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it was a good season for sure.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Anyways, back on the topic is Joe Burrow.
Let's get back to the question.
Yeah, let's get back to the question. I already finished mine, so somebody else.
You didn't really. You just said Joe Burrow is better. That's all you said.
Oh, okay. Anyway, all right. Here we go. All right. So then I'll finish it here. Okay. So blah blah blah. Joe Burrow's better. All that crap. And now that Joe's kind of got all the weapons, and if it's for the old line, they can get a little bit better. I think that he could be even better quarterback, but for right, I'm not sure because they're both for being young quarterbacks, they're both pretty good. It's kind of hard to pick which one. But Joe's, I would say he's probably better just after his season. What did he do? He tore his ACL last year, right?
Yeah, ACL and MCL.
Okay, so coming back from that and making it through the playoffs and actually making it to the AFC Championship is just something else in itself. So I'll go with yes for right now, that I think that Joe Burrow is better than Justin Herbert.
Well, since you're saying yes, I will be the next person to go and say no. I don't think stats are everything, but they're definitely something. And if you look at this year, everyone was saying how crazy of a season Burrow had, but throwing the ball and running the ball, Herbert's stats were better than Burrow. The only reason for me that this is a kind of tough question is because when it comes down to it and your team needs a win, Joe Burrow's been able to get that win while Justin Herbert hasn't been able to do it, and we've seen it multiple times. So as of right now, I'm going to say Justin Herbert's the better quarterback, but if Joe Burrow, I'm not even going to say win. If Joe Burrow can keep this game close this week, I might have to change my answer, to be honest. So I think this is a big game for Joe Burrow.
This is a big game for that's right. This is a big game.
Want me to go Noah?
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with Brandon. I do think that Justin Herbert is still a better quarterback than Joe Burrow, just because I feel like over the whole excluding playoffs, I think Justin Herbert was a more consistent quarterback than Joe Burrow was. Talking about stats, obviously he fell short, but he was also in a really hard division. I know Burrow was too, but the Browns and Steelers were kind of trash whenever, or not Browns and Steelers, Browns and Ravens. So it didn't really do much.
If there's no injuries, the Bengals probably don't make. If there's no injuries, the Bengals probably don't make playoffs. Let's be honest. Because
I think if no injuries, the Steelers don't make playoffs. I think Bengals still make. I think Steelers don't.
I think the Browns and the Ravens are the best two teams in that division, personally.
Yeah, but what injuries did the Browns have?
The Browns offense, their whole offense was injured at the start of the season.
And Baker played most of the season injured too.
Baker's a whole different talk. I don't think he's a good quarterback at all.
Oh no, I don't think so either. But he played most of the season injured.
Yeah, he probably didn't play any worse than he would have if he was healthy.
Yeah, fuck Baker.
But that's what I'm saying though.
We don't need to talk about him if we don't have to.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But if I'm going off just regular season, I still think Justin Herbert's a better quarterback than Joe Burrow.
Okay. I disagreed here. I think maybe I'm going a little bit too much on Joe Burrow here, but I think Joe Burrow's maybe not better than Herbert, but I feel like he's proven more. You can say, well, he's just made it to the playoffs. He just got his win, settle down. But, he has a better record. I think the fact that Joe Burrow has, stats are, important. Don't get me wrong. Maybe the stats say that Herbert's better, but right now, I would say you guys are talking about Brady Rodgers comparisons. I feel like this is a good comparison. Brady, Burrow, Rodgers, Herbert. Herbert has the talent and maybe looks better on paper, but Burrow seems to win when it matters, and Burrow has this kind of like thing about him that kind of like represents kind of more like a Tom Brady type way of football where it's not necessarily he's not making the big runs, he's not necessarily super flashy. Don't get me wrong, he makes pretty crazy plays, but Burrow reminds me of more prototypical quarterback, whereas Herbert is a bit more mobile, has a bigger arm, kind of more Rodgers like. But for now, I'm taking Burrow just because I trust him. I feel like in the moment, that's who I want. I want Burrow. He thrives in those moments. It seems like right now. So yeah, I'm taking Burrow.
Nice 50-50 split. I like it.
I do too.
Yeah, moving into the next question. What's the most likely destination for Aaron Rodgers to sign this offseason?
They need one. I don't care. They need one.
Oh,
he's not going there. That's just a joke. But I don't know where he'll end up. That's I'm kind of unsure about this.
I have 2 teams written down if he does not sign in Green Bay, and I don't think he will.
I have 2 teams as well.
Same here.
I think we might all have the same ones. Braden, do you have any teams? Or you just
No, I couldn't. When I looked at it, I was like, I have absolutely no idea where he'll go. So that's.
So I don't know the teams Max and Brandon have, but I have Steelers and Broncos.
No.
I have Broncos and Packers.
Okay, I wasn't including Packers.
I'm including Packers.
You're gonna try to hold on to it for as long as you can, eh?
I don't even know if it's me just being a Green Bay fan, but honestly, like if we think about it, I know there's a void in his contract, but he still has a contract in Green Bay. So for him to leave Green Bay, work's gonna have to be done. So if you think about it, the most likely at this current moment is still Green Bay. If he ends up getting that void in his contract, I do think the next most likely spot is Denver, because that team is built for a championship if they have a quarterback. So I think it's either Green Bay or Denver.
Okay. I actually agree with what Brandon was saying, but I did also agree with what Noah was saying. I had Denver and the Steelers, but based off of what I'm hearing, it's really possible that he could stay as well. But I'd like to see him leave. I think I'm getting tired of watching Aaron Rodgers kind of like waste his talent, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's wasting his talent being in Green Bay. I just feel like we need to see a different version of Aaron Rodgers at this point. I feel like we're not getting anything if he stays there. I don't feel like if he's going to win or if he's going to change something about his legacy, it's going to happen in Green Bay. I think it's kind of run its course. I feel like what's the point of having Jordan Love? Why would you draft him? He's in his 3rd year. Like, at some point, you're going to have to play him. Like, I feel like it makes sense for Green Bay to actually want to move on from Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion. And I think Denver and Pittsburgh makes sense. Pittsburgh, just, there's a young core there. I mean, he's going to have a great running back in Najee Harris, and got a nice wide receiver core as well. And then Denver, same thing. I like Javonte Williams. I'm pretty high on him. And then, I think they have a great defense. So, yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Right?
nothing.
I had no teams, but you know what? I could agree with Denver though, because they do have the potential if they have the quarterback. So
and they have the wide receivers. They have Judy.
Denver's defense is above average. You got Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon. You got
Melvin Gordon might not
Jerry Judy.
Melvin Gordon might not stay though.
Yeah, but I guess that's true. But like, still, just like talking about their team from last year, like they're a quarterback away from being a contender.
Definitely. I think also the reason we kind of threw Denver there because there was trade rumors this offseason. Hello?
True.
So yeah.
True.
All right, let's go to the next question here.
Moving on. Who is the Super Bowl favorite now, with sort of Brady and Rodgers out of the picture?
The Chiefs, hands down,
Yeah,
really.
think
Like,
twice.
Chiefs and Rams for Super Bowl.
Well, don't spoil it, Braden. Jeez.
Oh, that's
Don't spoil
that's
your
just my
pick.
prediction.
Just spoil your
That's
pick,
what. Now, hey, I could be wrong on whenever they play.
Bengals.
I'm
But you're
sure
not
if
supposed to
they-
include the Rams part, dummy.
It says
Oh, well,
who
that's
is
too
the
bad.
singular Super Bowl favorite?
You only
Chiefs
need
and
one.
Rams. Give us
Well, there,
one.
that was my prediction.
Give us
hands
one.
down.
I'll go Chiefs. I'll join Braden.
I
Good.
think the general public is Chiefs. I think my personal favorite's the Rams.
Chiefs. Fuck the Rams.
Who will be the starting quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers entering next season?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Mine's also Tom Brady, like we were talking about before, but I also wanted to throw in, sort of like that Aaron Rodgers, I wanted to throw in a second person just to spice things up, and my second quarterback would be Jimmy G. I think he'd fit in there nicely.
I'm gonna go Tom Brady, and my other one's gonna be Teddy Two Hands.
Teddy B, baby. Steady Teddy.
If Rodgers goes to Denver, Teddy Bridgewater will be the
As long as
quarterback.
it doesn't end back up in Carolina, I don't care.
Well, Teddy's a UFA, so
Is he? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
he
sign
is.
there then.
Is Newton staying with Panthers?
no, he's a free agent.
Yeah, he's a free agent now, and I don't think after what's happened, I don't think they'll sign him back.
I
Like,
don't
Rose
know.
even gets
I
an
think-
NFL job.
It's like 1 second I feel like he's gonna be insane again, and then it's like, wait, you're shit.
No, I'm back! I'm back! I'm back! No, you're
Brandon
not.
tried to
Yeah.
sell Brandon really tried to sell him this year.
You
I'm
played
happy
one.
I didn't. That's the one thing I didn't bite on this year was your fucking Cam Newton.
I was happy
Can't
with
do
Cam.
this,
though.
can't
He
do
played
that,
good
man.
for
And then
the
it's
team.
like
That's all I needed
it's
him
like he
for.
puts on. He makes you think. He makes you think there's light at the end of the tunnel. Then it's like Doug Ford. No, let's shut down the province again.
Hey, no politics, Bray. Fuck.
Dude,
Come on.
Hey,
This
I'm
is a
just using it as a
podcast,
I'm using it
not a
as a
politics
reference. I'm not
podcast.
getting into politics right now, so I'm using it as a reference.
You're a fucking political machine there, you.
I am.
Mr.
And I'm
Controversial.
leaving it at that.
Yeah.
You do that, Bray.
You can go. Yeah, no, just joking.
Will Antonio Brown ever play another snap in the NFL? And if so, what team?
Oh, I'm so torn because I don't think at this point it's happened too many times. I think he's just a cancer, but he is just so good.
Yeah.
He is so good. I think he's too talented not to play again.
Yeah, the talent's there.
And then
Sounds
actually yesterday there was a big news thing that came out. There was a pitcher and he was in a Ravens uniform.
He
Yeah.
tweeted it out himself.
Yeah, and he said he wanted to play with Lamar. So I think that's pretty interesting.
You guys do know that he's Hollywood Brown's cousin, right?
And so just the family aspect, the aspect where Lamar desperately needs a second wide receiver.
Sammy Watkins ain't it as much as you want it to be, B-Well.
1,000 yards.
He was hurt. I'm not out on the 1,000
1,000
yards.
yards.
He was hurt.
Honestly, Antonio Brown with Lamar Jackson would be an incredible combination.
That would be a wicked duo.
That
for
would
sure.
be tons of fun to watch. I don't know how he's 33 years old and still like insane and also a nut, but he's gonna. Yeah, I think I was saying the same thing, Ravens, but not to mean to cut you off there. But, yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, like, sorry, Noah, but I'm just gonna just say this here quick. But as you guys, like, as you're saying, yeah, the talent's there, but this has happened so many times that is a team really gonna look at you again? At some point.
Honestly, though, they probably will.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing, though. They maybe one team just like, hey, we need this guy bad. We'll take a chance on him. We'll try this again.
Worst thing that can happen is he takes off his shirt. I mean,
So what do you think, Ray? Do you think he plays for another team or no?
I don't think. I don't know what team it'd be though. Like I know, like with the
I'd say
Ravens,
Mahomes,
that would be,
no.
but that would be good if he went to the Ravens, which I think they might have to take a stab at him. But yeah, I think maybe one more team, and then after this, like he does one more stupid thing again, he doesn't have a chance. So
As an NFL fan, I don't think he should get another chance because he's kind of like looks bad on the game, on the league if all of a sudden he just keeps doing this over and over again.
Yeah.
But as a football fan, or not a football fan, as knowledge, I don't know what word to use. Obviously, like we said, he's probably a top 5 receiver of all time when healthy. And obviously any team would want a receiver of his skill on their team, and I think the Ravens will be the one team that will jump on him if there is going to be a team. I don't see any other team really jumping on him.
I heard Chad Ocachincho or whatever the fuck his name is.
Chicho.
Whatever. How do you pronounce? Yeah, that guy. Apparently, they were talking about him possibly coming out again or something like that. I feel like those wide receivers, man, like those guys are crazy. Like I don't know, they're just a different breed.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's some crazy ones. Michael Irvin's pretty crazy, you know.
They're all nuts.
Yeah.
Last question: is Aaron Rodgers a top 5 quarterback of all time?
I have him at 5.
You have him
I
at
would
5?
probably put him at 4, or no, actually, no, it's 5. Five's fair because there's there's so many other quarterbacks above him that are just that are better. But I do agree with you,
Not
Max.
so many. There's 4 of them. There's not that many.
Yes, I know, but I'm not. I don't know. I can't really name top 5 off the top of my head, but I know there'd be Brady, Favre, probably be one of them.
Wait, who?
Brett Favre.
Favre. Okay, but also Matt Manning,
Yep,
Montana.
that was gonna be my next one after.
And Montana's
Brett Favre.
probably 2 though. I think people would say Montana, right? Noah,
I have Montana at 3.
Who's 2?
Manning.
Right. Okay. Even though Manning was shit in the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's hard for me based on what
He still won it
watched.
twice.
Yeah. And then who's?
And he has
I mean, he did set records
MVPs.
too, so you got to look at that too. It's not just always about how many Super Bowls you can win.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about those records you can break or make.
Has Breeze won a ring?
Yes.
What's that?
Breeze has won a Super Bowl.
He has
Just
one.
1 or 2?
He's won one.
One.
One or it's one. Yeah, one.
It's just one.
See, I
Brandon,
feel like
I'm pretty sure
Speaking
you
of
have him.
NFL news, speaking of NFL news, real quick.
Yeah, Sean Payton.
Sean Payton's gone, reportedly.
Brandon,
Retired.
would you have where's Rodgers on your top 5? Brandon?
Oh, me? So you had him at 5. Braden had him at 5. Noah, did you go?
No, I'll go next.
Okay.
Unless you want me to go first because you're an Aaron Rodgers fan.
You can go ahead.
Well, I feel like I'm about to be the only person that has him at number 6.
You're not. I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. I have him at 6.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Who do you have over him?
I got Tom Brady. I got Joe Montana. This is not in order, by the way. I got Peyton Manning. That's
3.
Actually, you know what? I will
and then
say.
you got Brett Favre, and then somebody that nobody's mentioned yet is you still got Dan Marino, and John Elway.
Mine. So
I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
I would actually like to say, just cut you off. I probably would.
Oh, we lost him.
We lost
We
him.
just lost now.
We lost him. Okay, that's good. We'll mute him. Oh, he's back. He's back.
He's
Oh,
back.
heck, he's back.
Back
You like
to
that.
Lag.
Yeah.
Been a long time no see.
You like
Yeah,
that? We
We
didn't
missed
hear anything
everything
you
you
said.
said.
Wait,
missed
really?
Yeah,
you
we
like
missed
that.
everything you said.
Oh, okay. I was saying that I all time Mahomes is better than Rodgers. So I was
Already?
gonna say that Rodgers is not in my top 5 now because I just realized that I take Mahomes over him. So
You can't have Mahomes there yet.
Mahomes has a ring, right?
Yes.
He's got a ring.
And he's already played better. He's played just as he's better than Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry, you just kind of see he's on the same level as Aaron Rodgers. He just probably wins.
Okay, but look
based
at
on-
accolades, right? And it's just he's not there yet.
Yeah, but
Okay.
he's not
He
that
will
far
be.
off. He's not
He
that
will
far
be.
off. Like, how many MVPs does Aaron Rodgers have?
4?
Probably
3?
3, probably 4 after this year.
I think this is
4.
number 4.
How many does Mahomes just have? one?
I think he's
Just
got
one.
one.
Yeah.
Got one ring. What else? Does he have anything else on his plate? Like, I'm trying to think. Do they have like some big, like, has his team
Mahomes
had
has the record for most passing touchdowns in a season.
right? Well, you
But
could
then
already
also think of like all-time passing yards. You got to think of like Aaron Rodgers making the Pro Bowl like every year.
Pro Bowl's a popularity contest. That shouldn't determine anything.
That's true, but still,
okay.
you got to be
Well,
good and
yeah.
popular.
It's tough, but anyways, yeah, that's
But yeah, my top 5 in no order. Brady, Manning, Montana, Elway, Breeze.
Seem pretty in order.
Yeah, true. That's I have it written down, so that's probably why I wrote it down like that.
You think Breeze is better than Rodgers?
Barely. I think Aaron Rodgers, if he gets another championship, it'll put him over Breeze.
That's fair.
They're interchangeable.
I don't know if you guys get
behind
notifications from your fantasy still, but I just got a fantasy notification. If Aaron Rodgers is in Green Bay, the star wide receiver, Devontae Adams, is an easy first-round pick. If the QB exits, however, is Adams still a top 5 wide receiver?
Adams is a free agent.
Not. But Devontae Adams is a free agent, so.
No, but if he stayed, let's say, in Green Bay, and Rodgers isn't there, then you have Jordan Love. Top 5?
Devontae Adams
Money.
came out publicly and basically, without saying it, basically said, if Aaron Rodgers is gone, I'm gone.
Really?
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
where would he? I know this isn't on the question, but where would you guys like to see Devontae Adams go?
Where would I like to see him go, or where do I think he's gonna go?
Where would you? Let's say, well, like what? Yeah, what's a good place for Aaron Rodgers?
Last year when this was popular, what was the team that was it the Dolphins?
It was. The Dolphins were interested.
Yeah, the Dolphins, which would actually be pretty cool. But
I'd like to see. I could see it. I don't think he'll have the same. I don't think he'd have the same like stats and stuff. Obviously, going a pretty decent downgrade from Rodgers to Tua, but a team I'd like to see him on. I'd love to see him on the Ravens. That'd be fun.
That'd be cool.
Just off the top of my head.
I would love to see him on. I would love to see him on the Cardinals.
They don't got the space.
There's no way they have the money for that.
No.
Probably
you got
not. I don't think
you got Kirk. You got Rondell Moore. You got AJ Green.
I'm wondering if they could get. I guess it doesn't really work. Like you can get rid of someone, so you can put someone in. Really, it's NFL. It's kind of harder to do that.
NFL, there's less trades. There's more signings.
Just signings. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what other team.
I would like to see him on is the Packers.
Well, I know, obviously.
No, you don't say.
You know what?
That'd make
Send
me happy.
him over. Hey, imagine. Could you imagine? Tom Brady stays because Devontae Adams signs with the Bucks.
Well, they're going to lose Godwin most likely this offseason.
It's not even out of the picture because we were talking about like how crazy of an offseason this is, and I searched up like 2022 free agents, and basically the whole Bucks roster is a free agent. So
I feel like if Brady had Devontae Adams though and Mike Evans,
the Bucks would look a lot different next year.
Yeah.
It could look a lot different.
All right.
Okay.
Next.
Getting out of the questions, we're going to move into our AFC and NFC championship picks. Obviously, in the AFC championship, we have the Bengals and Chiefs. And in the NFC, we have the Rams 49ers. We'll start with the AFC. Who do you guys have winning the AFC championship and going to the Super Bowl?
Chiefs.
I also have the Chiefs just because you can't allow 9 sacks and beat a good team.
Eggs. I'd like to have it with the egg.
Are you guys saying? I got the Chiefs. My X factor, the way I kind of think of an X factor is, if I'm picking the Chiefs, an X factor would have to be a Bengal. So my X factor is Joe Burrow. If the Bengals are going to win, Joe Burrow's going to have to put on an outstanding performance.
So you're
like he did last week.
So who do you have as winner?
The Chiefs.
But you have an X factor as what? That Burrow would what?
The only way the Bengals win. The way I see an X factor is like I already have the Chiefs winning, So an X factor to me would be a player on the losing team. So my X factor is Joe Burrow. Like he would have to play phenomenal for them to win. In my
Gotcha.
opinion.
I interpret it a little bit differently, but
I think for me, I put my X factor is probably Jamar Chase, like to have, like, because if they can somehow like if the connection's good for that game and they can move that ball, like, and especially those bombs downfield too, like when it's going to come down to those counting minutes, because I don't think that I think this game's going to be maybe a little bit more like on the Chiefs side than it will be on the Bengals, but I know that it won't be an absolute blowout unless that O-line can't hold something back. But if they can get that moving, then it's going to be a different game for sure.
I have Chiefs, and my X factor is the Chiefs defense. Basically, if they can hold all Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase in check, then they should have no problem winning. I also think they have to take advantage of the terrible offensive line the Bengals have. Obviously, they gave up 8 sacks to the Titans and still won. So, obviously, that's not really stopping Joe Burrow, but the Chiefs defense has been pretty shaky at times. So, see what they can do.
It's also funny because both these matchups, we just saw them a couple weeks ago. At the end of the regular season, both these teams played each other, and they were both phenomenal games. So I think we're in store for another good round here. Max, you think the Chiefs as well, right?
Yeah, so for the Bengals and Chiefs, I said that the Chiefs are going to win. I said that the X factor, so I took it a little bit differently. I took it for the winning team. I figured what's going to keep, like, what makes that a win? What makes it a win for the Chiefs? I just said if Mahomes just needs to be better than Burrow. If he does this, they win. If they're on the same playing level, Bengals might take it from them. I don't see them losing if Mahomes outplays Burrow. There's just no way.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
Moving on to the NFC, we have the Rams and 49ers. I'll go first because I'm already talking. I have the Rams winning. In my X factor, I have Jimmy G, who did not play very well in that Packers game, but they still got it done, versus the Rams defense. So I sort of have an X factor from both teams.
I also have the Rams, just by the way both teams have been playing in the playoffs. Obviously, the 49ers, they pulled out the win, but he did not look good last week. And the Rams have looked phenomenal for 2 weeks straight now. My X factor would be Deebo Samuel. He does a little bit of everything. He did get hurt at the end of last game. I think he's good to go, but he's obviously a game changer, can do a little bit of everything. And he will need to play big for the 49ers to pull off the upset here.
Good. That's a good pick.
For that game, I would go with the Rams winning, and my X factor would be just the Rams defense in general. You know, if they can, if they can do what they've been doing this whole time throughout the playoffs, you know, with coming in with Von Miller coming off the edge for, you know, like to make the sack, or Aaron Darnold to, I don't know, make another sack, whatever, you know, and you have so many of those good defensive players on that team. They can hold it down, then they got it. Especially with that offense too. That offense is fucking nuts. So, but I want to lean more on the defense side, because I think that's what it's really going to come down to. So.
So for myself, I had the Rams winning. My X factor actually was the same as Braden's. I just think the Rams defense needs to show. I just said that Jimmy G ain't going to beat a good defense. That's why he beat the Packers, because the Packers were literally giving them everything. If you watch that game, Jimmy G was literally trying to fuck himself over. Like, there's no way that dude is a good quarterback. I swear to God, it's just, I don't know. Anyways, I think the Rams defense just needs to play how they've been playing. Because I don't know if you guys watched the recent game, but what's his name? Von Miller. Von Miller, I've been hearing, has been playing very well as of late. And if Von Miller is playing like 2015 Von Miller, then I don't see Jimmy G getting past that. So
it definitely took Von Miller a couple weeks once he came over to the Rams, but now that he's settled in, he's learning sort of how to work. He's ever since, I want to say, like about week
Yeah.
17, 16. He's definitely amped up his play for sure.
Definitely. Okay. Before we wrap it up, all 5 of us are back. I decided what I
All
not.
5.
5.
Of course. Sorry, the
Sounds
teacher
good.
I'm gonna
message
say,
helped
you
me.
guys want to sit in the background or whatever?
Yeah. No, since the 4 of us are back, I decided to why not bring back a little bit of quiz. So I made quiz. These 3
Oh,
will.
Noah, you intrigue me.
It's kind of hard now that we're online to be able to make sure they don't cheat on their answers.
I have paper right beside me. I don't know.
Nah, I'm not gonna cheat. I'm not smart enough.
Okay,
But getting that, we will go into the first question. I have 5 questions, one as a bonus, so a total of 6 points possible. Number 1, what was the only team to go undefeated until the Super Bowl? Bonus points, who did they lose to?
Oh, I know this. I think.
I
Wow.
don't. Know.
I have no idea.
I don't know either. Oh my god.
I'm going to tell you guys, if you guys don't know it, I'm going to tell you guys the answer, and you guys are like, oh.
No, I know the
I
answer.
think I might just take a crazy guess on it. I think I
I'm
got my
taking
answer.
it too.
Okay, do you have your answers?
Yeah,
Braden, go ahead.
I'm just gonna go with the Patriots. I'll just go with that.
Do you have a guess on who they lost to?
Seahawks.
Okay, Brandon?
Mine was the Pats as well, and losing to the Eagles.
Okay, Max?
Well, this is tough because my gut says the Pats, but now that everyone's saying the Pats, I feel like it's a trick question and no one would have made it too easy. But now that everyone's saying that, I don't want to say that. I want to say
That was my problem. I don't remember Brady going undefeated. But
No, I do. I do remember him going undefeated, and I feel like they lost to the New York Giants. So we'll see.
Final answer, Max?
Yeah.
So Max gets 2 points, everybody else gets 1.
Ah.
It was in 2008. In 2008, the Patriots went undefeated into the Super Bowl, and they lost to the helmet catch. Do you guys remember that?
Wow.
Oh,
Look at me.
hey,
Yeah.
the teams Brady
Good on
lost
you,
to
Max.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So Max has 2. Brandon and Braden both have
I believe
1.
I got that right. Wow.
Hey, so at least I got a point. So,
Question number 2: what 2 teams have the most Super Bowl wins of all time? There's 2 teams tied for first. I'll give you 2 points if you can get both, and 1 if you can get 1.
I don't know. Shit.
I like how Brandon's still writing it down.
I am just so I don't forget.
and that's Super Bowl wins of all time, right? I'm just making sure, like, who has the most
all
wins.
time,
Okay.
all time. Just what 2 franchises have the most Super Bowl wins of all time?
Okay.
I'm not getting.
Okay, I think I got my answer.
You got yours, Maxie?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Bray.
I'm going to go with the 49ers and Cowboys. That was a wild guess, though, because I don't know. So,
Well,
Mine was the Bears and the Giants.
Max?
I'm going. Oh, this is tough.
He's cheating. He's cheating.
No, I'd have to be looking down in order to do that.
Just kidding.
I'm going Steelers Bears.
So Brandon and Braden were both incorrect. Max got 1. It is the Steelers and the Patriots, both with 6.
I was gonna say the
I
Patriots.
was going to pick the
my
Patriots,
God.
but I only thought they had 8
Oh.
wins with Brady. Like, they only had just so many wins with Brady. I was like,
Do you have the list?
Yeah, Brady has won all. Brady has won all, has
I
7
have been
championships,
cheating.
6 of
I
them with
forgot
New
to let you
England.
guys know. Sorry.
oh, okay.
So yeah,
no,
Brady has
do
all
you
the
list?
Brady has all the New
Do you
England
remember
wins.
the list?
Damn it, I knew I should have picked the Pats.
What, Brandon?
Do you remember the list, sort of, when you were looking?
Of what?
Like, who's won the most Super Bowls?
Yeah, I believe the Bears have 4.
They've been around for so long. I just picked them.
Mhm.
And then the 49ers have 4 as well. So Braden was kind of close.
I was gonna say the Patriots too. Shit.
I think we all were, but then we were like, no.
So Max has 3, and Brandon and Braden both have 1.
Yeah,
Question 3.
Fuck.
Which team has the longest NFL playoff drought? And I gave you a multiple choice question.
no multiple choice.
Detroit. Okay,
No.
fine.
So,
Okay. Who has the longest NFL playoff drought?
still active?
As of right now, or
Right now.
was this
As of
as
right
the
now.
playoffs?
It's as of right now.
So like, for
Okay,
example,
I think I know what it is, but it may not be the thing anymore. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, fine. Maybe I want the multiple choice.
Wait, yeah, give the multiple choice. Yeah.
You want it?
Yeah.
Okay. A, Detroit. B, Miami. C, the Jets. Or D, the Broncos.
Shit.
List it again one more time.
A, Detroit. B, Miami. C, the Jets. D, the Broncos.
Drought.
Because before this playoffs, wasn't it Arizona?
All right, I got my answer.
I got mine as well.
Sorry? Okay, you guys are good. Braden?
You live, Bray?
Go ahead, Braden.
Miami? No, wait. Yes. No, I'm going. Yeah, I'm sticking with it.
Final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
Okay, Brandon?
I'm going Detroit.
Locking in.
Max?
Miami.
None of you are correct. It is the New York Jets.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah, the
Brandon,
Miami
you
don't
said Detroit?
playoffs. Yeah.
No, I knew
Detroit made it in
Stafford would have.
2016.
Yeah, I thought Stafford would have done something.
Stafford did sneak in one year. Shoot.
So yeah,
Sorry.
it's still 3-1-1.
Oh, and Miami snuck
Number
got in
4.
like a few years ago or something like that. I think.
Miami had a good team.
Yeah, Miami snuck in like 4 or 5 years ago. The Jets haven't
Yeah.
made it since like they were 2003.
Damn.
Definitely wasn't the
Question
Broncos.
4.
The Jets were that.
It definitely was the Broncos. I just threw that one in there. What NFL coach has had 15 straight winning seasons? They are still an active coach today.
Okay.
So it's not Sean Payton.
No.
I guess that took it out of the question.
I was thinking Sean Payton, possibly. Winning records, 15 straight years.
Okay, I think I got mine too. There. Now is this just?
Forgetting his name, but I got the team.
Is this a team? Is this a playoff question? I'm just wondering. Just before I make my decision.
You don't have to
Well,
be.
they didn't have to make the playoff. They just had a winning season.
Oh, okay. So like where they finished, like let's say, just for example,
they could have finished 9. They could have finished 9-8 this year, and it would have been considered a winning season.
That's why I was.
Oh,
thinking
okay, good. Okay,
But then
I got
it's
it.
it's not Sean.
All right.
I got my answer.
Answer.
Max, you good?
Yep.
Okay, Braden, go ahead.
Belichick.
You will?
I'm not going Belichick. I'm going Mike Tomlin.
Max?
I was gonna. Fuck. I thought both of you guys would go to one because I was thinking of both those guys.
I know. Actually, I'm not going to say anything.
You know what? Yeah, I'll stick with Belichick.
It is Mike Tomlin.
Damn it!
The Patriots had a losing record last year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
I knew
So
the
it's
Steelers. The Steelers
final
didn't make
question,
the playoffs a couple
3,
years
2,
ago.
1.
Still the positive record.
Mm.
So this is between
Oh,
if
man.
you will send it to overtime or if Max wins. Braden, I'm sorry you're out of it, but you can still answer this question.
Well,
Fuck.
then there's no point in me answering the question then.
Okay, then leave.
No, I'm
No,
not leaving.
don't
kidding.
stay.
No, you can still answer. Okay, this one is a very recent one. What player set a record this weekend for 4 touchdowns in a playoff game?
Say that again.
What player set a playoff record with 4 touchdowns this week?
Okay. I
He had 4 touchdowns in one game.
think I got it.
Is this a trick question?
No.
I don't
Is it
think it
only
is.
one
I don't
player?
think it is, Max. I don't
No,
think
one
it's
player set a record for most touchdowns in a single playoff game this weekend with 4.
Okay, but I'm just gonna say this right now. Both Mahomes and Allen threw for 4 touchdowns.
No, sorry, it's not a quarterback.
What?
It's not a
No,
quarterback.
it's a player.
It's
Oh.
a
Whoever got the
it's a position
touchdown.
player.
Holy shit, okay.
It's either a running back, a receiver, or a tight end.
Well, shit. Dogs. Fuck.
Brandon, do you have an answer?
I do.
I think
So
I
if
got
Brandon
mine
gets
too.
this, I'm gonna have to find some bone. I'm gonna go ahead and search up overtime.
Max is thinking long and hard about this one. Bray
Wait.
was pretty confident. Bray had it quick.
Well, if
I
you watch
think
the games,
it's
if you watch
between
the
two
games,
players, and I'm going like I don't know. It's between 2 players that I have, and I think I know. I might be wrong though, but we'll see.
The problem is, me and Max
let me
we
know
were
when you have an
playing
answer.
hockey. Me and Max were playing hockey both days, so we missed parts of every playoff game.
Okay.
You got it, Max. Okay, Braden, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Gabriel Davis.
You will,
I don't think Gabe Dave got 4. Mine was Kelsey.
Max.
That was my second pick. Was Kelsey too.
Shut up.
Gabriel Davis.
It is Gabriel Davis.
Did Gabe
Let's
get
go! I
4?
knew that. Let's
Didn't
go.
Gabe
Right.
get 4?
Dave had 4 touchdowns this weekend thrown to him by Josh Allen.
I'm so
Let's
pissed.
go.
Because I remember, this how I kind of started to cut you off there, but I kind of knew because Nathan and I were talking about it, and he said that Stephon Diggs was kind of quiet. So I'm like, well, then the only person that had to go off was Diggs. So I know Cole Beasley didn't have any touchdowns. I don't think.
I was actually gonna say Cooper Kupp until I heard Braden say Gabriel Davis. Once I heard that name, I forgot that I was watching whenever they announced that Gabriel Davis had the most touchdowns for a wide receiver player or whatever. And I do remember
Yeah, there
Too
was
bad.
I wasn't gonna get that unless Braden said that. So thank you, Braden, for saying it. It
there
worked
wasn't
out
enough
well.
points in the Cincy game.
No problem, Max. You're welcome.
What are you saying, Brandon?
I'm just mad. Okay.
Max's
I
first
beat
podcast
Brandon.
back. He wins the quiz.
Wow.
We let
Brandon,
him
have you won
win.
a quiz yet?
I just know it.
No, I have not. I am like 0-6 right now. I have lost every single quiz because there's usually I have to guess most of the answers because I don't know it really off the top of my head. So
We'll
except for the last one, it was between Kelsey and Davis, but I knew that I think Kelsey only had like 2 or 1 touchdown in the Chiefs game. I think he only had 2. I think he had 2 touchdowns.
I think it's
So.
2, yeah. So yeah, that's gonna
Yeah,
wrap it up
so-
for this episode. What?
It was a well-fought battle, and we made it a very long
very well.
one for the reunion.
Yeah. That's gonna wrap it up. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a
How
like,
long-
subscribe,
How
check
long
our
were we?
TikTok, Instagram. Brandon, how long was this?
Hour 14.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like we talked for a bit. We will be back next week. See ya.
All right.